Hello, guys. Hello. Oh my gosh. It is the final show for the year. When I say final show, as in final, interview for the year. And I am so excited to be here again with you guys. Those of you who followed me on my profile page earlier on, I was trying to get ready. Kind of sort of a fail, but it's okay because I feel like one eyebrow a little higher than the other, or something off balance. But some of you wanted to know what lipstick I was wearing, or I was gonna wear, and I decided that I was gonna leave it for the show, for Cacoa Tea. So welcome to Cacoa Tea. If you're just coming on, welcome. And I want to encourage you, if you are on it right now, make sure you do something for me. You share the link, because we gotta let this thing move. So make sure you share the link. And also let me know where you're from. Let me know who's on. I want to know who's on. Yeah. So welcome to another Cacoa Tea. I don't even know how I feel. I feel nervous. I feel excited. I'm even feeling pretty. I don't even know why I'm feeling pretty today. Yeah. But I feel pretty. I'm rocking my turban again for I think, is this the third week or the second week? I can't remember if it's the third or the second week, or the second time I'm wearing it, but I'm rocking my turban and feeling myself. Yeah. If you want tips on how to wrap your turban, because I have quite a few different ways that I do it, let me know. Drop a comment. Let me know that you want to see. You want to see some videos of me do my turban. I hope I have no lipstick on my teeth. Let me just make sure I have no lipstick on my teeth before I start grinning, because I always grin on my show, right? So it's a beautiful day. It's Saturday. It's Cacoa Tea. It's yours truly. Thank you for joining me wherever you're joining me from. Let me know where you linked in from, because I really like to be able to shout you out. But I'm so grateful to all of you who supported me, who stayed on every single week, who come on and enjoy the show. You comment, you share, you tag your friends, you follow. Thank you so very much. You could be anywhere else in the world on your Saturday evening, but you chose to be here with me. And for that, I'm so fully, completely appreciative of that. Thank you. Today, we got an exciting show for you, like we do every single week. I have the lovely Mayma Rafael is going to be joining me in a few seconds. I say seconds because she's coming on soon. And I'm so excited to have her here. Oh my God. I'm so excited. She's sitting in the lobby looking on Flake. Yo, Mayma's backdrop is the bomb diggy D. I don't even know people still use that word, but I'm using it. Her accessories in the her ornaments and accessories, and her background look like it's out of a freaking magazine. That's all I have to say. And she is looking absolutely gorgeous, and she's ready to tell you guys her story, to share with you a little bit about her life. She has a very, very interesting life. When I talk to her, sometimes I kind of sort of remember myself, because we kind of sort of have that same hustler mentality. Like, we want to be in and we can do everything, or we think at least we can do everything. But they say, master of none, we master of all. Okay. So Mayma is gonna be joining us in just where the comments them at now. Where y'all people at? Come on, people. Let me see. Or am I not seeing it? Am I not seeing the comments? Did I turn on the comment section? Oh my God. Can you are you guys seeing me okay? Let me know if you are, if you're not, because I can see there are viewers in there, but I'm not seeing any of you've commented. I know by now somebody must have commented something. So let me know if you're on, and if you are ready for the show. I want to know. Yes. So yeah, drop a comment in the box below. Quick time. Okay, so I'm seeing some people on. Yes, guys. Okay, all right. I'm seeing y'all. Okay. All right. So who's this? Hi, Sophia. How are you? Oh my God, Sophia is on, and Jenny is on. Thanks guys for joining. Thank you so very much for coming on here and choosing to be on Cacoa. Get ready for Mayma, Rafael. As I said before, she, or if you guys follow me on Instagram as well as Facebook, she is she calls herself a traveler. A traveler. Wow. I love it when people call themselves travelers because these people have been to places, and Mayma has a list long, 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 a very long list. I just want to welcome at this time. We there, man. Go for it. Oh! We there, man. Go for it. Oh, thank you. I love my followers. I love you guys so much. I had to read that a few times, but I get it. Thank you very much for that comment. Letting me know that you can see me and everything is good. Because sometimes we have glitches. The last show we got disconnected and then we got reconnected again and stuff. Shit always happens when you're having fun, right? But we always keep it rolling and we keep it moving and we hop back right on and we do our thing because that's what we do. I'm getting ready for Mayma. I have, my Cacoa hat. Oh, by the way, I'm wearing my lip is called it's Sasha Intense Velvet. It sounds like those influences. Sasha Intense Velvet. It's called Showstopper. And it's available at the Glam in Roseau. So go to the Glam and tell them that you saw Jael wearing the Showstopper because I'm about to start this show. Yeah, getting ready for the show. Right about now, Mayma is joining me. And she's gonna be on with us right about now. Hi, Mayma.
Hi, Jael. How are you, my dear?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I am doing fine. Thank you.
So happy to have you here. Oh my God.
I am so excited to be on your show. I'm just thrilled.
I have
I
butterflies.
mean, yeah, I know. I'm really, really excited. I've been watching you, listening to your podcast, watching you live. So I'm just so excited to be part of it.
Thank you very much for
Oh, yeah.
coming on. And you look lovely as always.
You too, my dear. I love that lipstick.
Thank you. Thank you. You look like an absolute glam mom.
Oh,
Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, you look absolutely lovely.
oh, thank you, my dear.
Love the braids.
Oh, thanks. Thanks. This one is called crochet braid. So,
Really?
yeah.
You do,
Yeah. I'm sorry?
you do it yourself?
No, I went to a salon here, which is really rare because we don't really have a lot of African Americans here. So this one person does it. So I'm like, I'm getting this done. So I really like it. It's very versatile and flexible. I like it.
Yeah, I heard the crochet braids are very light.
Yes, absolutely.
As the regular. Hi, Linda. Linda is on. So we gotta say hi to the people who are on. Let me just hi, Linda. We're watching your beautiful self quietly. I'm in between baking black cake. Linda, why
Oh
you
my God.
come on there and talk about your black cake? I'm like, Linda is like the Linda is, where are you? Whereabouts are you in? I know she's usually in England or Spain.
Oh wow.
So that's probably where she is
Yeah.
right now joining us. Thanks, Linda, for linking up. Don't forget, guys, keep commenting and keep sharing that link. Mayma is on. She's here. And we're ready to get the show on the road. She is my final guest. When I say my guest, as my final interview for 2018. We're wrapping it up with a bang, and check out her backdrop with her Christmas tree.
Oh my God.
So you're doing Christmas and I'm doing New Year. Yeah,
Oh, that's good. Compliments each other.
My background just
I love it.
my
I love it.
background was like silver for all my shows except this show. And
Yeah.
it's not that well, you know what? You special. You understand?
Oh, I feel good. I feel the love. I feel the love. Thank you.
I changed my background. It's the season as well, and I'm not a fan of Christmas decorations.
Yeah.
I love to see them, but I don't like to go through the process.
I know. It's a lot of work. It's
Yo,
girl. Yeah. It's a lot.
Friend messaged. She showed me her tree, And she goes, took me 2.5 hours. And I'm like, that your business. Because and
I know. Oh, it's so much work. And then taking it down and everything. Oh,
how
yeah.
long do you leave your tree on
Oh,
until?
I used to when I was in New York and we would get the real trees.
Mhm.
I'm so bad. February. Yeah, that wasn't, yeah, that's not right.
Don't
Yeah.
you wish that houses came with a section where you could put the tree and then you just slide it back in? Probably they should invent
Abs-
something like
I
you just
know.
slide it in, and
Yeah.
when it's done, you just slide it
Try to, absolutely. Or just shrink it down and then pop it back up. Yep.
the wall
Yep.
and on the floor. Something
Yep.
needs to go on
Oh
because
yeah.
for people like me who love to see it, I
Yeah.
don't like effort and putting it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need to do something about that just for
Absolutely.
people like me. We got
Absolutely.
Mayma. Mayma is on, and I always start my show asking who my guest is. I like to know, who my guests, at least who they think they are, because
Mm-hmm.
I think somebody is, they might think they're completely someone. Because somebody might think loudmouth, which I'm kind of
Yeah.
something else, but they might think you're something that you're not. You're not really
Yeah.
thinking. That's who
Yeah.
I am,
No,
right?
absolutely.
Who is Mayma Rafael?
Wow. Okay. Well, I think first of all, Mayma is compassionate. I um I wear I wear my emotions on my sleeves. I am very empathetic. Well, I think I am. And in life you go through a lot of different experiences, but I think the thing that keeps me, grounded is my compassion. I'm also very enterprising, very creative. I can, make wine out of water. I can make something this small look really amazing. I shop at the dollar store sometimes and I just, I'm able to be very resourceful. I have to compliment myself for that. I'm also I'm very civic minded. I try to volunteer as much at my kids' school and help out as much as I can because I think it's important that we give back and we play our part in making the world better. And I'm multifaceted. I think I'm very multifaceted. I wear many hats, like you, and I try my best to do them well. Yeah,
Mm. On that note, let's drink some tea.
absolutely,
So
absolutely.
let me see. Gangster rap.
You know, Santa Claus got Santa Claus got nothing on me.
You gangster rapped.
Yeah, yeah. I am a gangster rapper. I rap a lot of gifts for my kids. I'm really good at it. When I saw this mug at my favorite store, like Wool Market, I was
Mhm.
like, I'm definitely having it because it defines a lot of what I do during the Christmas time, especially. So my rapping skills are on point. I'm really fierce when it comes to rapping.
He's
Yeah.
fierce when it comes to rapping, and she decided to put it on her cup.
Oh, I see some people saying hi here. Can I say hi? My sisters, my
Um,
fellow TiVo crew.
who else? Kisha Remy is saying hi, me.
Yes. Hi, Keisha. Hi,
He's
Mava. Hi,
in.
Maureen.
Gosh, oh my God, look at them. Look at them. They're coming on. Guys, when you come on, say hi. We'll try and bring you guys up as much as we can. And if you have questions, save your questions so we can, when I tell you question time, you can ask your question so we can get this show on the road. When I spoke to Mayma about sending me her bio, once she decided on her dates for the show and all of that, she sent me her bio, and at the top of it, she said it was very therapeutic. Why was writing your bio so therapeutic?
I guess because of my journey, leaving Dominica, my beautiful village of Tebow, and ending up here in California, I have gone through a lot of changes in my life, moving to different countries, different cities. And I've never sat back and reflect really on what I have done, my experiences and what I have been through. And I think that just allowing me to go through the process was really therapeutic, because I look back on everything and I was like, wow, it has been quite a journey, and I have learned so much, and I have evolved so much, and I have grown so much. So certainly, it kind of gave me that sense of, I wouldn't say accomplishment, but like fulfillment, and I felt really proud. Yeah,
Wow.
absolutely.
I know writing a bio is not something that we usually do,
Mhm.
especially when we keep it, to a certain minimum and stuff. Because we update our resumes all the time, but our
Mhm.
resume is not
Yeah,
everything. Our resume is just our professional lives.
absolutely.
Writing a bio, you have to include your personal stuff, in there. And I can see, because just reading it, it was just like, wow, I didn't know that. And
Yeah, yeah,
so even the wow factor that came with me reading it, and you must have been, when you were writing it, you were like, hey, I did this.
I
Oh,
know.
this, and look at how I did that. And oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah,
People
yeah.
coming on. Melissa Bontiff is saying hi.
Oh, hi.
It's good to see you.
Yes, of course I know Mel and Kimani and everybody else.
Yes, Anna Paul is
Yeah.
also saying Mayma. You got your
Hi.
fans here, man. They're locked in. Yes. Share the link, yeah? Make sure you share the link so everybody else can see Mayma just like all you, okay? See how I get them.
And I thought everybody was Christmas shopping right now.
Oh, people love the Cacoa tea,
That's good. That's good.
And some people, I know this one friend of mine, she messaged me and she said she was actually in the mall my last show,
Yes.
and she was, I can't remember what she was doing, but when she saw the notification of came up on her
Yeah.
phone that I was going live, I was going on, and she logged in the mall, and she's walking and she bumped into
Oh no.
somebody. She's like,
Oh my God.
I
Yeah.
can't go, and I
Yeah.
bumped
Yeah. Well, your show is that good. It's addictive. Yeah. Very interesting.
thank you guys, and thank you for being on. Mima, you mentioned you grew up in Tebow. Tell us about growing up in Tebow. What was some of your fondest childhood memories?
Oh, Tebow is very, very dear to my heart. I mean, from the time I was little, I've always had wonderful experiences and great memories. The community feeling, it's a very small community and everybody really knows each other. Everybody know each other. And that sense of community, that's a bond that's really, really strong. And just walking down the street and having to greet everyone and say good morning, Mrs. This, and good morning, Mr. That, and you feel like you absolutely have to, because if you don't, your parents are going to hear about it, you know. So it was very grounding. I can say that it was rich in tradition, it was rich in culture, it was rich in values. Some of my same values that I carry on with me got this start in Tebow. Being very empathetic, caring for people in the community and working hard. My parents were entrepreneurs. My dad was an architect slash builder slash cabinet maker slash, we owned a movie theater, we had a bar, we had a store, we had a grocery store. So I always remembered connecting with my community in different levels, running down to the beach, having activities on the field every Sunday, and especially during Christmas season. Those were the funnest memories for me. It was amazing. You smell all this great food in the air and people boiling sorrel and, black cakes being baked and gâteau and cows being killed and, porks being, smoking up, your parfumé,
Yeah.
the pork, girl, and a lot of shadow and music and just, and I remember my mom taking us to like Roseau right before Christmas. We used to go to Vekas actually to get like registered mail. So that was fun. Walking up, going to the neighboring village and getting a registered mail, then going to Roseau and shopping. She would buy new drapes. She would purchase fabric so we can take it all the way to Providence for a wonderful lady called Mayma to make our custom Christmas dresses. Oh, it was just childhood that I'm so nostalgic about right now, and I know it's priceless. And sadly, my kids will never really experience something like this. But I have to say that Tebow was really good to me, and I'm so grateful for the experience there.
Wow, Marvel was just saying there that she did lots for older people from a very young
Yes,
age.
yes.
Um,
I used to take care of them. I used to go to the homes, do the grocery shopping, and clean the houses and just do things that, you wouldn't expect from a, 9-year-old or even younger.
wow, that is
Yeah.
absolutely amazing. Um, then you left Tebow, Dominica, because some people might be on there and wondering where is Tebow? Tebow is in
Yes.
a very small village
Yes.
in Dominica,
Yes.
and Mayma left Tebow and moved. Mayma left a small village in Dominica and moved to a big Canada. Mayma,
Yes.
how was life when you moved to Canada?
Well, before I left Tebow, I certainly made a pit stop in Roseau when I went to school. I went to Wesley High School,
Okay.
and that was a great experience. I could have gone to PSS, but I just wanted to be away, and I was away at age. I think I passed my common entrance at 10. So I went to Roseau and did that, and then after school, I graduated at 16. Then I started teaching in Peebush and Penville, and then I migrated to Canada. And I think that it was certainly overwhelming for me being in such a big, community, and the culture shock was just like, wow. First of all, we moved in October, and it was very cold. It was cold, and I'm very grateful that my entire family moved with me. So my dad, my mom, my two siblings, my two sisters, Maureen and Marva, we all moved together. So I had a network and I had a support system. So
Mhm.
it wasn't as traumatic as perhaps if I were to have moved on my own. But certainly there was a lot of different elements I had to learn. I decided to actually go and work at McDonald's. So I was able to assimilate pretty quickly while I was going to school.
Okay.
Yeah, and I also went to an all-girls school while I was in Canada.
Okay. And
Yeah.
you started working at McDonald's, so you started
Yes.
working very early,
Yes.
2 o'clock. I mean, from coming from Dominica and then moving to Canada, and
Yes.
Mayma decided I am going to work.
Mhm.
But Mayma, this was not your only job. How many jobs have you held in your, and why so many jobs? Like looking at your bio, you
Mhm.
have done probably everything under the sun.
Yeah. Well, no, I went as a student. I decided that I really needed to have some extra cash. And working at McDonald's, I was a hostess. So
Mhm.
what I did was on the weekends, I did a lot of birthday parties. So I would get to meet a lot of people, just get to organize the parties for the families. And that kind of gave me an insight into Canadian culture
Okay.
that I was very proud of. And then from there, I guess a lot of the jobs I held were part time while I was going to university. I certainly wanted to make sure that I was always working because I knew that I didn't want to have gaps in my resume, and I wanted to go to law school. So I was certainly working. I worked for the federal government. I worked for the Ontario government as well, working in legal aid and working in other legal aspects. And for the federal government, I was a labor market policy analyst, where I worked with marginalized groups and disadvantaged groups. And I did that while I was in grad school, actually. And then, because I have moved so much, every time I move, I have to do something new and reinvent myself. So when I moved from Dominica, it was a new landscape, new country. I certainly had to do something different. And then when I moved from Toronto to Ottawa, where I went to school, that was also different. And so I guess every time I move, I have to find something that I'm passionate about, that I like, and then get to do it.
What did you want to be like as a child, like growing up? Was this something
Yeah.
you
Well,
wanted to be?
yeah, I certainly wanted to be a lawyer. I did everything in my power, especially when I moved to Ottawa. I volunteered. In the legal department during the summer. I worked with lawyers, with federal and Ontario lawyers as well. Just trying to hone my craft and see if I really love the career, the profession. And then that changed, when I went to grad school. Then I realized perhaps I might become a professor. And then I said, wow, I pretty much want to be an advocate for women's rights, and wanted to just, with my master's degree in sociology, I wanted to do a PhD and perhaps help, impact or leave my mark on the world and helping marginalized and disadvantaged groups, especially women.
Wow, that is
Yeah.
very, very interesting. Why was it so important for you to attend university? Because you seem to have gotten your feet wet quite early in the job.
Yeah.
Why did you decide it was so important to you to attend university? I mean, why Ottawa? Why Carleton?
Well, I certainly always wanted to go to university when I knew that we were moving to Canada. Because, in Dominica, there are limited opportunities for quite a few very intelligent and just, curious students. So when I knew we were going to Canada, I certainly did not want to go to community college. I felt like I wanted to go to university to fast track and perhaps just try to go into law school quickly. And the reason why I chose Carleton, believe it or not, is that my family was very protective of me. My mom, she was a warrior, like in terms of she worried a lot, and I just wanted to be as far away from them as I could. Yeah, I am very grateful to her and my siblings, but they were just really, I mean, it was everything. I couldn't go out and I couldn't do this, and I felt kind of restricted. So I said to myself, well, you're going to go away to university. And first, they recommended York. They said, York is just down the road, And I said, well, So I decided I wanted to go to Ottawa, the next major city. And Carleton, it was very familiar because my brother's name is Carleton. I was like, oh, sounds kind of nice. But I looked into the programs and I saw that, they had what I really wanted to do. And I just followed my passion and I moved. I went to Ottawa and I got accepted. And I stayed in Ottawa, and it was one of the best things I ever did. Because as soon as I got there, I just really made it my own. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Marva says she was a crybaby.
Oh boy. I did. Some people don't know that, but I tend to be a little emotional. So, I would cry because I'm the last. I mean, birth order, I'm the last kid. Usually I always want to get what I want. And, so I just thought a little, you get worked up. I know I cried a lot, but then, so that's why, especially, I'm a little emotional, a little compassionate. So yeah, it came with the territory.
So Mayma, you go to school at Carleton, you're done school, and then you decide you're dropping everything and moving to the States. What happened?
Well, I was certainly thinking of moving to somewhere else, I wanted to pursue this program with the United Nations that would allow me to work with women. And I wrote for an internship. I got accepted to do the internship. I was very, very excited about that. I was really happy. And then I met my husband. I met my husband online. I know. Yes, on the internet. Back in 99, I was online trying to research PhD programs at McGill. I'm typing away, and then I got a pop-up, like an instant message. I'm like, who is this person trying to stalk me on the internet? Because obviously you hear that people come right through the internet and kill people. Like, you know what I mean? So I was like, I'm not going there. And then the person was very persistent. So he sent another message, and I was like, oh my God. Like, this is 99 when, you have AOL that logs on like, and, And for some reason, I guess my profile, I was on there, and on AOL, they only had like less than 100,000 members. So it showed that I was online. There's Vogue 747. And he said, "Oh, is that are you a flight attendant? Because of 747." I was like, okay, that's a pickup line somehow. No. And then I just totally ignored him and continued my research. So he was persistent again. He said, just guy here in New York saying hello. And then I said, you know what, let me just say hi to this guy and just have a conversation. So I carry on with the conversation, typing away. And he asked me if I'm originally from Canada. And I was like, no, actually, I was born in Dominica. And he's like, Dominica? I was like, yeah. He said, oh, yeah, I know Dominica. I was like, nope, not Dominican Republic, because everybody thinks Dominica is Dominican Republic. I was like, no, not at all. And then he said, no, I'm serious. I know about Dominica. I said, really? And he said, my father is there right now. I said, okay, well, where is your dad? He said, he's in Massac. And that was it. And then the relationship just went into overdrive because there was this familiarity, that he was from Dominica. Dominica is so small. And this guy saying hello. And I didn't even know what he looked like, but we spoke on the phone all the time. We were very, very super friendly. And, 2 weeks after we met, my cousin in New York, Pearl, she invited me over. And I said, I think she was having a christening. Was that sorry?
Me?
I know. So she said, come by. And he lived in New York. And then I said, oh, I'm going to be in New York. And then he said, well, we can link up and stuff. And I had to know, well, he didn't know what I looked like. He had to FedEx me some pictures of himself, because back then you couldn't email a photo or anything like that. You couldn't scan, that was just the technology wasn't there yet. So I saw him and he looked really like a nice guy. I was like, okay, I don't mind talking to this guy and perhaps see what happens. And then, he picked me up and I saw him in person. I was like, oh my God, this is it. He was just so polite, so respectful, gentleman, just amazing. And I said, okay. And that was what allowed me to kind of change my mind, because he proposed to me in 3 months. Yeah.
Wiki, wait a minute.
Yeah.
So you guys meet online, which is not the norm, especially at the time.
Yeah.
And you meet for the first time 2 weeks later.
Mm-hmm. And then, sorry.
And then 3 months later, he's like, will you marry me?
Yeah. Because you know what happened? We used to actually travel back and forth a lot between New York and Canada. And then my parents met him. Everybody was very skeptical because it was like, wow, where did he come from? You know what I mean? And his father in Dominica, amazing man, we connected with him. And it just kind of brought everything to a familiar, safe place. And he knew, and then sometimes, Jael, you have to go with your heart and your gut, and when you know it's right.
She's on her sleeve, eh?
What's that? Exactly. Exactly. So I was like, I know this. I'm a sociologist. I know the statistics. I wasn't going to let this one go by, So I was like,
what did the statistics say? Mayma?
Well, it's sad, but a lot of Black women, I guess when it comes to finding love and finding marriage, we often get the short end of the stick. And it's kind of a sad thing right now, because there's so many amazing, wonderful Black women out there, and there are not enough men, that they could actually create a union and create a relationship. And sadly, it has been going on for a while. I mean, there are certain numbers, like a lot of Black men, perhaps there's a high rate of incarceration, and there's so many different complex or complicated things that make it challenging for African-American women or Black women to find the partner. That's why at that moment, I just decided that, yes.
Is it more to
I'm sorry? I didn't get that.
Or is it more to find a Black partner? Because I
Oops, you're breaking up a bit. Sorry.
I've found a lot of African-American women or Black women are more interested in dating within their race rather than outside of their race. Whereas it's the opposite for black men. Black men usually open to anything as long as you're a woman. And some of them probably would even give someone of another ethnicity rule over their own kind. So
Yes.
probably black women should be more open to.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I have to agree with you because I think that we shouldn't limit ourselves. Black women should certainly date outside the race and perhaps find someone that you are compatible with on not only racially or culturally, but certainly in terms of your values, your morals, the things that you like, the things that you enjoy together. For me, everything checked out, I like the fact that, he had his roots in Dominica. I like the fact that, we could enjoy a lot of the same foods. I love the fact that we enjoy the same music and everything else. So, but I certainly am really a strong advocate of women, or men, and anybody just dating outside your race to if your goal is to get married or have a family. You certainly can do that with anybody. It's just a matter of finding the right match.
And the right match not necessarily have to be of your same background.
No, absolutely.
And
No.
I think slowly black women are starting to open up themselves to those options.
Yes.
Especially when I've heard so many black women complain that, oh, all the white girls, they take our men. I mean, like, there are other fishes in the pond,
Yes.
like
No.
Consider all the options.
No, absolutely.
I always said if I had not gone back home to Dominica and met, the father of my kids and stuff, I probably not have ended up with a black man. There's a 90% chance that I would have not ended up with a black man. I was so open to dating other people. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna date whoever the hell I want.
Yeah.
I dated an Asian guy, I dated an Indian guy, I dated an Italian for like almost 2 years, so I was open to the option. And we should be open.
No, absolutely. Absolutely.
Not not stay there and get dry.
No. No, absolutely. But
a white horse.
I know. But the sad thing is a lot of oh, you're funny on the white horse. A lot of black women sell themselves short. And wait for that perfect man that checks all the boxes. I think that it's important to even date people who are older than you sometimes, not necessarily trying to date.
Telling us something? Is he older?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And that helps, because sometimes I think that men mature a little bit slower than women. That's just my opinion. But certainly, I think that you have to let yourself just explore all your options, and sometimes I think it's fate, because when I look at how I met my husband, I can't figure out why. It's just, I'm not a religious person per se, but I'm spiritual, and I think that it was meant to be, because we are so compatible. It's just right, even though he's older. It works. And sometimes you have to go with your gut feeling, because in life you'll get the naysayers, you'll get people who, question your decisions. And if you're able to focus on you and focus what you think is right for you, then certainly that helps.
Wow. How much older, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, 12. Uh-oh.
Really?
You froze a little. Yeah. You froze a little.
I guess I froze when you said he was older.
Oh, okay.
12 is not bad. 12 is not bad. 12 is a decent.
Yeah.
Is definitely decent. Okay, so you left Canada, you moved to New York.
Yes.
Because you said yes. Did you say yes right away? Was it like no questions, no ifs, ands, or buts, maybe I'm doing this?
No, I said yes because I kind of knew what I want. I'm one of those people that, I'm very serious, I'm focused. And I knew immediately that this was the right decision for me. I go with my gut feeling. And even though I'm, I may be considered a risk taker, but I certainly knew that it was the right decision to do. and I got the blessing of my family. We got married in Canada, and then we, moved to the States right after our honeymoon. So no, it was great. It was a great decision, and moving to New York was big because then although in Toronto, I was very much in the city. I was in Willowdale area, and that was close to everything. But then moving to New York, I moved to the suburbs, and that made it quite complicated to find anything or anyone. So it was a bit isolated, I have to
Wow.
say. Yeah.
So when you move to New York and then you start having babies, you have kids, and in addition to that, you've also managed to keep yourself extremely busy while in New York, even without a job, right?
Yeah.
How did you juggle having kids and all of these projects that you were taking on?
Yeah. Well, when I moved to New York, I kind of, scoped the area and saw what I was passionate about. And it actually threw itself on me, my passion. I did a lot of planning for my own wedding, and I did a lot of the invitations and the programs and everything else. Well, I kind of not did did the invitation altogether, but had an input in what it looked like. And then I had found my passion in paper. And I said, wow, this is such an amazing thing. Then I would certainly like to pursue it as a business. So I went on and wrote to the Oprah Winfrey Show and said that I have found my passion in paper. I had a few clients already I was working with. And they said, wow, would you like to be a feature on the show, of someone who had found their passion? And I said, absolutely, yes, I would love that.
Passion in paper. Explain that for us.
Yes. Well, I just love doing invitations. I would create invitations for a lot of different people in the city, in New York, for celebrities, in Westchester. And I just felt like it felt natural to me because since I was little in Dominica, I used to create things with my hands and create things to sell, so I just felt like, wow. And I started doing invitations and people started noticing me and word of mouth. And I just said, wow, it was just a lot, and I think I would certainly like to pursue that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to and then I went, sorry, that's okay. And then I just wrote to Oprah and said I had found my passion in paper. I've already have clients. I would like to be, a feature on the show. And then, yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So Oprah responds to your letter, or her
Yes.
response.
Yes, the producer. The producer, we're friends on Facebook now. We have kept in touch for a while. And she just said, sure. They got so many letters of women who had found their passion, and wanted to pursue it. And I was one of those women. And then, I went to Chicago. It was early in July. I was so excited. And, met with the team, met with the production team. And then I sat with everyone else. There were a few other women who had also found their passion. And it was a good experience. It was a humbling experience to meet somebody like Oprah at that time, because she is, she's a guru and she knows her craft. And everyone wanted to be part of her show because it was such a positive, enlightening, empowering experience.
Okay. Just hold on 1 second. The laptop charger. Just the laptop charger. It's right there, baby. It's right there. Yes, it's brilliant for me.
That's okay.
He's trying to. No, you gotta unplug it. He's trying to make it stretch all the way, and I'm just like, it's not gonna work. You gotta unplug it. It's gotta be my producer in the back.
I think he deserves a raise. Yeah.
He totally does. He totally does deserve a raise. But he's trying to do it, and I'm seeing his poor hands. And anyways, we're talking about Oprah and the fact that something like they could have picked anybody else.
Yeah. I guess.
And they chose you.
I guess there's the power of writing. My husband always say, sometimes I write from the audience perspective. So every time I write something, like I write to a producer or I write to a show, or I just write something compelling, I make sure that I know who the audience is and I cater to that.
Mhm.
And certainly that helped. And that helped me launch my business. Being on her show, I launched my fine paper and stationery business in Westchester County. I had 2 stores where I did invitations for everyone. I had quite a few people, even my own people from Dominica, friends from Becas, Ria and her family. They would all come up and get stationery and invitations, and it was a good experience. I served quite a few people. I met a lot of people, and yeah, it was fun. And I was pretty young at that time, doing it, and hired quite a number of people, and just ran my own business.
How did it feel like
it
having that?
felt it felt empowering because they gave me, like, Westchester is a very small niche community, and they gave me the last word in the bridal sections, of the magazines, and I would be interviewed for anything that's happening to stationery. So I became like a spokesperson, for that industry, and just being able to help people because people came to me because they needed work. Also, I would have perhaps 11 or so employees, in my stores and working and designing. And I love the creative part of it. I think I was more drawn to the creativity because, of course, I'm a very creative person. So I'm just working and doing bar mitzvahs and weddings and just everything. It was fun. It was a lot, a lot.
It sounds like a lot of fun.
Yes.
Then what happened to that paper?
Yes. Well, what happened was the industry was changing. So even though I had a lot of stationery, I also carried a lot of paper gifts, like leather goods, journals, and albums, and everything else. And, like Mont Blanc pens, fountain pens, and calligraphy and everything. So it was not only paper, but it also included paper goods and
Mhm.
items, gift items. So the industry was changing. People were going online. So people were not really purchasing a lot of invitations anymore because it was just so easy to do a digital, invitation and email it to someone, you know. And then I started having kids. I had the first, and I went through like the store, did that for quite a few, 7 years. And then when my daughter came, I just couldn't do it anymore, because it was a big overhead and it was a lot of work and it required a lot of my personal time because people come into the store and they want to speak to Mayma. It was really hard where I could say, well, this person can help you, but they want me to be the person they work with, design with them and work with them because I build relationships. When I have clients, it's not just about an exchange of goods and money. It's also, creating a partnership, and the relationships were key. So that part of it was like, wow, I had to be there 24/7, yet I had a growing family. And then we just had to say, well, we're just going to have to say goodbye to paper, and that's what we did.
Wow, how was that?
It was sad. It was,
I, it definitely was your passion, right?
yes,
And you
yes,
had to give that up. How did
yes,
you feel?
yes. I felt very, very, I mean, it was bittersweet at the time because I knew that I needed to be at home with my kids and spend more time with them. But at the same time, it was part of me. That was my identity. I was the stationary lady, and I was very excited to go to work every day because I would meet so many different people. You know, um, just a lot of people came to me and depended on my expertise to help with whatever they were doing. Especially I love working in brides. I had brides coming from Manhattan all the time, and from all over Westchester. It was so much fun. But then so when that part of me was ended, I felt like I was losing part of my identity, where I just had to become like a mom, and that was it. And that is fine, but I think that a lot of women, when they make that transition, it certainly is not the most pleasant experience to go through because then, you certainly want to spend time with your kids, but at the same time, you want to have a career and you want to make sure that, you are doing what's right for your future and, and yourself and improving yourself and empowering yourself, to gain economic independence and to have something else going for you. And that's why I decided to just do other things. I was quite taken aback. And I said, I think I'm going to just change course and forget about just doing my own thing and work for corporate America and go into finance. Sorry, can I,
Well,
are you there? Can I hear,
yeah.
I'm kind of losing you a little. The
Can you hear
resolution
me?
is low.
You hear
Hello?
me okay?
Yes, I can hear you now. Yeah.
All right. So you gave up your company. You started having, or you raising
You're
your
breaking.
kids,
Yes,
but then
you're
you
breaking it.
found your passion in another form of paper, or you did something else with paper. You became an author. How did that
Yes.
happen?
Yes. Well, the thing is, I decided after I was done with the store, I felt like I felt nostalgic about working. I wanted to go back into the workforce, so I decided to go work for Merrill Lynch, and I did my securities exams, and it was such a hard exam. And not having a financial background, it's something that a lot of people say, well, you can't do. But never let anybody tell you can't do anything. So I said to myself, mm-mm, no, exactly. I said, I'm going to do this, and I'm certainly going to do it at my utmost best. And I did. I
Mhm.
passed the exam and worked for Merrill Lynch for a year. And then I decided that it perhaps wasn't the right industry for me. The whole industry was tanking. The recession was going on. My company was closing because we're being sold off to Bank of America because there was a lot of different changes happening. And I just said, you know what, perhaps this is the time for me to just stay home with my kids. And certainly that's when I decided to become an author. Well, I wouldn't call myself an author per se. I wrote basically on demand. And I did. There was something that inspired me to write my first book, which is called I Love the Skin I'm In.
Tell us a little bit about I love.
Yeah. Yes. Well, I Love the Skin I'm In was inspired by my daughter who was she was starting to have questions at the age of 4, very young girl. She was having questions about skin color because of course they were coloring and, getting to know all her different colors. And she said, why is her skin brown? And I was like, wow, because normally kids do realize that, they may be different, but they don't verbalize it as much. And I was taken aback, and I'm sure it wasn't anything negative, but I took it as an opportunity to go in and to help share a message, and I think the easiest way to do that was to write a book. I know that a lot of kids, marginalized based on what they look like, because of their skin color. And I didn't want her having a lot of negative feelings about her skin color. So I wrote a book to empower her and empower little kids all around the world. And really, it doesn't really matter what's on the outside. What really matters is what's on the inside. So it was a lesson that I wanted the kids to learn, that please do, don't ignore, like, I wouldn't say ignore color, but don't put too much emphasis on the exterior and focus more on a person's character, and so that book went out and a lot of people love it because I get a lot of messages that it's really empowering to the kids and they read it to them. And I wanted to make sure that it was what I wanted it to be. You know how you said you want to control a lot of what you do in terms of your edit, you want to have editorial control of what you do. Well, I felt that way. So I created my own publishing company. I did. I did. I said, So that's exactly what I did. I decided to create my own publishing company. It was hard, but I did my research and I found out that I could actually have my own publishing company. And I went with the same people that print the books for Random House and Chronicle Books. And I said, look, I'm small, but I'm going to grow big, so I certainly want to make sure that I get the book published through them. And I chose everything. So I chose the hardcover because I didn't want the book to look cheap. I felt like if it was a book that was geared towards kids, I wanted it to be substantial. I wanted it to be a nice hardcover book. I also decided to make sure that the writing was bright, the color, the illustrations were vivid and exciting. And on the cover, Pinkalicious had just came out with all the sparkles. I wanted the little girl on the cover to have sparkles all over her dress, you know?
Uh,
So I got that going. I had it embossed, the title embossed, and I controlled every aspect from hiring the illustrator to hiring the production company that would produce the books to just everything, marketing, getting linked up with Barnes and Nobles, getting linked up with Amazon, getting linked up with a distributor. I just did everything on my own because I wanted to ensure that that book got into the right hands. Yeah.
wow.
Yes.
And then I was telling you my little story, and then you've gone through the exact
Yes.
same thing.
Absolutely. So I know how you feel.
That is, but you didn't just write one book.
No. And that book was very well received. A lot of school districts, I know a few, I know even Kentucky, one of the school districts there contacted me because they bought some for their kids, and it's used in libraries. And I see a lot of sales during Black History Month because a lot of Black kids feel that this book is very empowering. Oh, parents feel it is to them. And again, I'm always inspired by my kids, whatever I do. So my daughter, again, was very upset in 2016 when somebody who she felt was a bully, won the elections, the federal elections here in the United States. And she said, this certainly relates to a school environment. I can see this happening perhaps in a school environment. And I think in order to empower kids and to let them know that, it's always good to do the right thing, I think I want to write a book. And I said, really? I said, that's exciting. I said, I'm there right with you, So we decided to write a book that was, it's called Danny Trample for School President, which is a book about a little boy.
Daddy Trample?
Yes, for school president, ? So, Danny was a little boy who decided that he wanted to win the elections in the school. So he did everything he possibly could. And there were other candidates, who were just as good. But Danny decided that he was going to win the elections, not in the right way, not in a respectable way. He was bullying kids. He was calling, kids all kind of names. He was just doing things that you don't really expect 9-year-olds to do. And he bribed the kids, offered them candy and everything, the unicorn, everything. So unfortunately, he ended up winning the elections. The principal was upset because, sending the wrong message to the school. But then, the story ended in a positive manner.
Don't tell us how the story ended. I think people should go out and get Danny Trample. President, because I want Danny Trample for school president. It's available on Amazon, right?
Yes, it's available. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, I'm gonna look it up because I think I'm gonna get it for Giovanni. I think it sounds like fun.
It's a great message. It's an anti-bullying book, actually. So it's a great message with a happy ending, very happy ending. So I think you'll be happy to know how it ends.
I want to know what Danny Trample. Mayma, your family. I mean, you've done so much. You've written, you've traveled, you've owned businesses, you've moved around. But your family was also featured in Essence magazine a few years ago. How did that happen?
Well, my dear cousin, Melissa, I'm not sure if you ever knew her because she grew up in Vegas and then she moved in with us. She had mentioned to me that Essence was looking for couples to feature, in a story called Black Love, and they wanted to do a story on successful Black marriages. And then I was just only like 10 years or so into my marriage. And I was like, oh, that sounds interesting. So, of course, I wrote an email and my husband and I got picked and they did the interview and they wrote the most amazing article about us. And the article basically is about tips that we gave or lessons that we can share with other couples or singles to help strengthen their relationships. And we are not the most perfect couple, but in that article, they also mentioned other great relationships like Michelle Obama and Jada Pinkett Smith and Ozzie Davis and his wife. And I felt, wow, this was kind of a really good experience that we had to share and talk about our story and how we cope and, having a family and how we find time for each other. Because I think it's really, really important when you're married to not lose sight of each other, because we get so busy with what we're doing and in our own little world that we lose that connection with the person that we fell in love with the first time. So yeah, so basically just giving simple advice like, always touching base and always carving out time from your schedule, and just being present, just to listen, respect each other, and love, compassion. And that certainly helps. This year we celebrated 18 years. So I'm so grateful. Yeah.
8 years.
18 years of marriage. Absolutely. Yeah.
Blown away.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we certainly take our own, messages and our own advice. Yeah, absolutely.
Congratulations to the two of you.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much going on with couples. Forget the Black couples aspect of it. The couples on the whole. So
Yes.
much happens with couples where people are no longer willing to commit for too long.
Yes. Yes.
And some of us, and I say us, everybody mean
Yeah.
in it, we ready to call it quits very quickly and
Yeah.
without thinking twice, and also thinking, oh, there's so many options, so many
Yeah.
fishes in,
Yes.
you know.
No, absolutely. But
And
yeah.
yeah,
I guess you have to approach it just like you approach anything else that you want to be successful. You have to help it grow. You have to nurture your relationships, and I think a lot of us tend to neglect that part of it where, if you nurture it, it will grow, and I think that when we are at odds with each other, it's not an opportunity to say, I quit, I'm going to do something else, or I'm going to where the grass I think is greener. I think it's a sacrifice that we make, and it's a commitment that we have to hold there and just stick it out. Sometimes, though, you have relationships that are just not working out. And I would never, encourage anyone to be in a relationship where they're not happy. But if it's the minute things, the little things that we can certainly, take care of and not hold grudges, I think in the long run, we are looking at a very successful relationship if you have a track record of always making sure that you nurture that commitment, you nurture that relationship, and help it blossom.
wow, so much information from Mayma. Guys, if you just joined right now, um, don't forget to share the link. If you'd like to follow Mayma, her social media handles are at the box below or above. Just it depends on what you're looking at it at the show on. So if you're looking on a computer, it's different from where it would be positioned if you're looking on your cell phone. So you can follow Mayma on her social media handles if you'd like to stay in touch with her. But I mean, Mayma is such an amazing person, not just in America, what she's done in America, but Mayma, you've also gone back home and done things in Dominica. What sort of contributions did you do or did you make in your home country?
Well, I don't get to go to Dominica as much as I would love to, especially now being on the West Coast. But certainly when I was on the East Coast, I used to try to go back as often as I can. I think Christmas time is a very special time. And a lot of the people in my community used to look up to my family and perhaps my mom, and would bring Christmas cheer to everyone. So during the holidays, we would pack barrels and have gifts for every kid in the village. My husband has dressed up as Santa Claus, to distribute gifts. We had parties, Christmas parties for the kids, just to make them happy. My mom, who actually tomorrow will be the 5th anniversary of her death, she was coined the Christmas lady, so we certainly wanted to make it special. And also a few years back, I organized a reunion for people who are in the diaspora to go back to Tebow and to help contribute. There was a lot of money raised. There was a lot of different projects that we started. We helped organize a lot of groups in the community. I personally was involved in helping to donate we donated a lot of books to the library, give computers, and just to change the trajectory for a lot of people in the community. But we realize that it's an ongoing thing and you can't just do and stop, and my hope is that,
You have to
you know,
follow up.
I'm sorry, I can't hear.
I say you have
You're,
to follow up, and you have to constantly be on top of it. Um,
yes,
they need something, because then it
yes,
just, whatever you did, it seems like it does not stand the test of time. It just stays
yes,
there. When
absolutely.
you yeah.
Absolutely. And that's why, my husband and I have been talking a lot lately about a different kind of program. Instead of just giving a computer that, gets outdated in 2 years, or providing, library to the books to the library, which I think is also crucial as well. But it's important that we perhaps nurture relationships with people here. We're in Silicon Valley, which is an area that's rich in a lot of technology, and rich in a lot of human power, and connecting the dots and connecting people to a community would certainly help, because there's such a big ecosystem of technology here. You have venture capitalists, you have a lot of different people who are involved in creating technology for a lot of people that we have access to. So being able to connect these people to people within our communities, I think is kind of key, because it certainly helps change the trajectory for a lot of people, especially the kids. They're curious, they're eager, they don't only want to be consumers, they want to be creators. So we want to make sure that we can help make it easier for them, because we have the connections and we're here.
It's so funny you say that.
Hmm.
But we were talking to my sister a couple weeks ago,
Hmm.
and she was saying, there's so many young people in Dominica who
Hmm.
are unemployed, you
Hmm.
know, and she's like, they're not interested in becoming doctors or lawyers or going to university to do this and that. And
Exactly.
a lot of these unemployed ones are the creative minds who feel like they cannot really do anything in Dominica, and the opportunity does not award is not awarded to them for them to leave. So
Hmm.
they do nothing because they feel like they'll be limiting themselves if they go work a 9 to 5 and they just remain unemployed. But there are a
Absolutely.
lot of young people who are like graphic designers and
Absolutely.
and engineers, like mini
Yes.
engineers and
Yeah.
stuff. And just
Technicians. Yeah.
having a center
Mhm.
whereby companies outside of Dominica can hire these people. I know, yes, of course some of these companies may take advantage because
Mhm.
of course it's a different country. One is a it's considered a third world country.
Yeah.
um but help in terms of the economic development of these young people by
Yes.
simply pumping in money to help. They do graphic design and they send overseas, link up with different companies and stuff.
Yes.
Help them. I'm just joining the graphic design as an,
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And
but
yeah, and I think when you think of technology as a whole, I don't think we should just see it as for the people who are more inclined to be like a computer scientist or an engineer. A lot of the companies here in Silicon Valley are hiring people with English degrees or psychology degrees, because you need people with those skills to be able to understand how to use the technology and how to
Mhm.
market those technology to people. So you have content creators, you have people with philosophy degrees and literature and language and English and multiple different languages, because of course you're creating technology for people around the world. So
Translate it.
exactly. So if you are not a technician or somebody who is inclined to code, of course we certainly encourage people to code, but if you're not inclined to code, then there are other opportunities that you can pursue. There's so many opportunities. I mean, here, and a lot of jobs go unfulfilled, because there's not enough people to work those jobs. So even like I was thinking, in Dominica, we do have, like, I know Ross University just left, right? And I think it's a great opportunity to use that space as even an incubator. Having an incubator that's not located in, one of the major, like I know, I'm not sure what Jamaica is doing right now or Trinidad, but certainly Dominica is centrally located. There are lots of people in Dominica with ideas, no matter how small they are. But then if they get the advice, they get their the venture, the VC money, they can certainly turn the technology into something that might be used around the world. So if the government, or I'm not sure who might be in charge of this initiative, but if they can partner with a lot of those tech companies and perhaps see if they want to, have some kind of partnership going, or even universities where they have different satellite locations, like MIT or, even Stanford, certainly it would open up a new way of thinking for a lot of people in the Caribbean, because I think, when you look around, you see a lot of different countries. You look at Qatar, where they have a strong representation of tech companies in Qatar, and a lot of universities are trying to have extensive partnerships with them. Why not the Caribbean? We're so close.
Sir.
Yeah, we're close. We certainly can have an incubator, a technology hub, in the area. And this would give opportunities to many people. I mean, you can, a lot of outsourcing. I know they have a few outsource, but more customer service kind of work. Why not create technology here? Why not have people do, like you said, graphic design? Why not create written content? Companies do need a lot of help, especially tech companies, and a lot of them outsource to companies that are more known to them, like China and India, and they do have a lot of skilled people. So getting up to speed in the skills department, I think that's key. When we kind of educate a population, then we help the economy grow. We help provide jobs and jobs for the future for a lot of different folks.
Is that all you'd like to see get done?
No, I mean, there's a lot more, but a few years ago, I was highly interested in marketing Dominica, because, of course, when I just write a letter, I would get results. So I wrote a letter to Nate Burkus when his show was in prime time, yes, and said that my cousin Pearl was turning 40. I really want to do a birthday party for her. And he decided that, yes, for sure, he was going to, he was going to have me and her on the show. Mm-hmm. And we chose the theme Dominica. So he had a party designed for Pearl that was all Dominican. He had the matador. He had, the black cake. He had everything. He was full-blown Dominican. He even, he's like, oh my God, I want to go so badly. He's had the accent down packed already, Mm-hmm. And that was in prime time. That was on a national network. That was on ABC. And we were so excited because it kind of put Dominica on the map, this marketing. But then he reached out to me again and said, look, they want to go to Dominica to host the show. He was turning 40. He wanted to do a show in Dominica, bring the producers, get everything done. I reached out to the Discover Dominica chief at that time and CEO. And we went back and forth through many emails. He and I just went back and forth. And I was like, look, this guy, Nate Burkus, is like Oprah's right hand. You don't understand. This is big. We really would love to have him in Dominica because, let's put Dominica on the map. And they turned the offer down, even though, the hotel, Rosalie Beach Hotel, said, I'm going to host them. We just wanted to get the Dominican government involved and to kind of escalate things and make it more enhanced experience, for the producers, for the show. So that didn't happen. So marketing Dominica.
First time I'm hearing of this.
Yeah. It's I do have all the emails that we went back and forth with, and it was, you perhaps would have appreciated that experience, but the other people on the island did not think it was something that they should pursue. And I know that it would certainly have helped just promote, our tourism, just little things like that. There's so many things that we can do, and everybody has to play their part, It's not just the government, I feel like as citizens of Dominica, I was born there. I really hold Dominica near to my heart. I love Dominica. I really want it to thrive. I know that there are a lot of challenges right now, especially with climate change. I know that we're going through a lot, and I have seen it firsthand how devastating it is, and certainly that is a high priority and something that I'm just trying to figure out, how can we cope? How can we make sure that it's not a deserted island in the next 20 years. I just went to Maldives recently, and they're going through a lot too with their islands, that are slowly sinking, and
Mhm.
the sea level is rising. So in the next 50 years, supposedly won't be around anymore. So I could certainly see, um, I approve of what they're doing. They're creating more islands with a higher embankment, like, I don't know, 3 feet plus, 3 meters plus, to kind of help. So they're creating brand new islands, taking sand and creating brand new islands,
Wow.
which is kind of, yeah. But they're certainly trying to do something. I don't know what the initiative is. I know that we're certainly in Dominica, we're trying to reduce the amount of plastics and straws and everything else that we use. Um, I know everything is going to take a lot of work. It's going to be all hands on deck, so in any way that, if I am able to come up with brilliant ideas on climate change, I'm always following the topic, on the internet, and trying to see what we can do as a people. I know here in California, we're going through so much of our wildfires, so the whole world is really changing. And I think each human being should play their part. I mean, we can certainly start by reducing our carbon footprints, and just recycling and just educating our youth and letting them know the importance of practicing great environmental enhancing practices where we don't destroy the earth in a few years. It's very important that we are relevant and we're on point with our endeavors, to help secure a great future for the world for our kids.
Maybe you have so many ideas. Like you are like a ball of ideas and advice and energy. I mean, down to like you so many different companies on so many different levels. Like I was so surprised to find out that you worked with Castbox, which is
Yes.
like the Netflix of podcasting,
Yes.
and
Absolutely.
you were heavily involved with them. It's not just like you work like
Yeah.
part time or whatever.
Yeah.
You have like a really substantial position
Yes.
at
Yes.
Castbox. What
Yes.
did you do?
Absolutely. I was director of digital marketing. Initially I came on just, filling the scope as a contractor. And then I decided to go in full time. And I had to redo the website. I'm really good at SEO, which is search engine optimization. So I am able to get blogs on zero position on Google. So I was able to use my skill, and I'm not a technologist in terms of having a degree in technology, but I have studied a lot and understand the dynamics of how to write to create high ranking searches on Google. So I did that for them. I also helped with the content within the app. What contents we should push, what contents is better, or what are our listeners, what do they want to hear? So I helped a lot doing that. I also redid the website, with the help of my Beijing team. We wanted to put in a brand new spanking website, and I was tasked with helping to implement the website. And that was a lot of fun. And I also, it took me a while, but I hired someone to do social media marketing for Castbox. I had to do it for a while before we had we hired someone else to come on board. But it's such an amazing platform, and just, it's a small team, so we all kind of wore many hats, but it was certainly something that I was certainly passionate about and working on and listening. I love podcasts, and just being able to help out with getting podcasts discovered, and being able to sitemap all those podcasts, all millions of audio files, so it was very challenging, great work, and we hosted the largest podcast event in Philadelphia, which was a huge party, which I hosted for 1,000 people. Yeah, that was really amazing. Yes, I did that. Yeah, because I love events, I love parties. So when the
We know
opportunity came up, yeah.
Yeah, we know that, Mayma.
Yeah. Yes.
What's next for you?
Well, what's next for me? Apart from traveling and just being with my family, I'm certainly pursuing two major projects. I'm excited about those. I can't wait for them to come to fruition. I can't say much about it because everything is still in the works and I'm still working behind the scenes. But, being in this environment here and surrounded by technology, it's inspiring. Everyone here is just so supportive, and everyone here is just willing to help and network. And it's certainly the best environment to thrive and to do something on my own and to see where it leads. So I'm certainly excited about being here and consuming and also creating technology.
You have a message from your hubby. Just sent a message.
Oh God.
Love your wife. She's such a wonderful mother and great community volunteer.
Oh, and it's so funny. You see what his profile pic? Do you recognize that face? That's so funny.
Who's his profile pic?
It's Mark Zuckerberg. Yeah, yeah, that's funny. We local here, so it's you just bumped into people every now and then.
So
Yeah.
you bumped into Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, they did. He and my daughter. They were at the local burger joint, In and Out, grabbing something. So yeah.
And he's like, let's take a picture. And he's like, okay.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. But he made sure he told my daughter to go into computer science.
Really?
And yeah, we'll see where that leads because she's passionate about fashion and everything else. But we'll see. But no, yeah, my husband, he's nice. My family, I have to say that they support all my undertakings, all my endeavors. Very supportive. I think it's good to have a good network of friends and family that are just there to drive you and to see through all the opportunities. I know when it comes to business, I'm a risk taker. I feel that without taking risk, you can't see results, and I certainly embrace that character that I have and just go for it because, the world's the oyster. You have to, just take every opportunity you can to leave an impact.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mayma, it was such a pleasure talking to you this evening. And you've said so much. And someone can learn from something that or can be inspired by something that you did or can be encouraged to keep pushing through because you've said so much
Yeah.
and you've touched on so many different aspects of your life and so many different things that you've gone through and you're able to have fun at it. One, which is always, you know, don't do anything that you don't do anything that you're not gonna have fun at. And you live life to the fullest, even being a mom, even
Yes.
being a wife. I mean, I follow you on Facebook. Sometimes a little bit too much. Gotta check out where you do and stuff, and you are definitely, one of those amazing black women out there, and you keep doing what you love and loving what you do, and and I'm so appreciative that I know you. I mean, I remember like I don't even know how we became Facebook friends, but I just remember my mom always talking about your mom.
Oh
You know,
yes.
she'd always mention your mom and stuff.
Yeah.
She called her cousin something.
Cousin Doan or cousin Madeline. Yes.
Yes, that's
Yes.
what I called her and stuff.
Yes.
And I just remember her, talking about her. I didn't really know you growing up or anything. And I remember when I moved to Canada, I think you were already out of Canada by the time I moved here. And it was just, like when I think we spoke once or twice and stuff on Facebook, and you were just so encouraging and everything. And I really want to thank you, for continuing to encourage me when you do, and when you do reach out and stuff, and when you do send your little messages or you comment on. on stuff that I post because I'm very like what tu jogar post.
Ça bon.
And
Yeah,
so, you definitely is you're someone that a lot of men can look up to and look to be. You know, you've definitely not said no to any challenge that came your way
absolutely.
from picking your husband. That seemed like something like out of out of the blue. Who does that? Somebody like, who
I know.
does that?
I know.
Um, you definitely know how to take a risk.
Yes,
And uh, and as you said, how do you know how well you are at something if you don't take the risk and if you can
absolutely.
actually do it? And I want to commend you on all your achievements. I know you've traveled the world and you probably continue to travel. Where to next?
Hopefully, I would like to take the kids to Galapagos Islands. Yeah, because no, because it's just that's something that I enjoy, and the good thing is my husband enjoys it too, and the kids enjoy it. So, and I really know how to travel on a budget. So, if anybody need tips, please, you know, hook up with a sister. I'll hook them up.
That you do your research.
I
Yeah,
do a lot of research. I plan my trips years. Like I know we were going to Maldives for my 18th anniversary. That was like 5 years in the making. So yes, yeah. So I plan a lot, so I am able to get good deals. And I mean, even last year we went to Europe, and the tickets were only 400 and change. So I'm very resourceful when it comes to traveling. Finding good tickets, good
I'm gonna
prices.
ask my sister to check you because we're planning a trip in the summer
Yeah.
of last year, and we're planning on stopping 4 different places.
Yes.
And I was like, yo, you better just don't come and tell me nothing about no long money I have to pay because I'm a student.
I know. I know. I know, girl. I hear you. I hear you. And I have 5 in my family, so yeah. So I have to try to see how I can make it work. Yeah, stretch
Right.
every dollar. Certainly.
Well, your sister wants me to ask you. Said you did not mention about your Vegas roots. You need to.
Oh, yes. Well, I guess it's quite complicated. My dad's dad, originally from Vegas, Massicot, Lipson Massicot, and his father, Peter Massicot, Tobino. My mom's dad, Augustine. So all the Augustine and Amber, we're all
That,
related. Yeah, so we're related to Augustine and Massicot. And then my step grandfather was from Tobino. It's called, what is it? Costa Gamier.
Tobina.
Yes, Fabien, Hugh Fabien. So he has all those. Yeah. So it's a lot of cousins, like my cousin Angie and Joan, and a lot of I can't even call everybody because I'm gonna be upset I didn't call them. So I have a lot of family in Vegas. Yeah, and a lot of them I know. Like my Pawe, Soldier Boy. I know them very well. And I'm sorry.
He's an Augustine. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, we were really tight. I really love him. But yeah, quite a few. Some of the Leblancs, some of the Royers, but like Uncle Rennick. I don't want to mention too many names because I'm gonna get in
In
trouble.
trouble.
Yeah,
I'm not even stopping you, man. You're gonna get
yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
It was a pleasure, Mima. For thanks for being on here with me, and I hope that when you do launch whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
that you find another spot on Cacoa and let the world know what is going on in Maymaland.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And
Maymaland sounds really good. It sounds like marmalade.
oh, see, my mom knew what she was doing when she hooked me up with the name Mayma. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, but
Keisha Remy is
yes,
saying that Mayma, you've always been an inspiration. Always look forward to seeing you and your sisters.
yes, absolutely. It's always a pleasure. Keisha, I knew her when she was this little, and it's and she now is holding her own in Tebow and the community, and being a teacher, and which is really nice. Which is I admire teachers because I did it for a year.
Maureen's like, we are related to JL. Like, she,
Like she think you don't know. You know?
Maureen, you looking for cousin?
I know. But but yeah, no, it's oh, there's
Yes,
Melissa.
Melissa's saying, great interview, Mayma. She's the next Martha Stewart. I was thinking that. That's why I called it Maymaland.
Oh, that's funny.
Love
That's
you.
funny.
Probably.
Thanks, Mel. But Jael, I am so grateful that we connected, because you are such an inspiring person as well. And I certainly admire confident, forward thinking Black women. I think that you're empowering so many people and you don't even know it, honestly, and keep on doing you and don't let anything stand in your way. And just the sky's the limit. Stay the course. I know you're going to get naysayers. People are going to say, oh, you can't do that. Just block the noise, and move forward. Block the noise. Absolutely.
I've never been one to, I'm sorry. I've always, I mean, I fought with my father, about what I wanted to be.
Yeah.
I've been with my father for 4 years,
Yeah.
For what I wanted to be. So I don't like, if I am willing to, if I was willing to accept that I was losing one of the most important relationships in my life,
Yeah,
over what I wanted to be, I don't think anybody else can do that. So
yeah. No, it's good.
they can come and they can try.
Yeah.
I prefer to try and fail.
Yes.
That they've never done it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I'm okay with starting from scratch, which a lot of people they want to keep going up.
Yeah.
And eventually you're gonna plateau. When you plateau, what happens?
Absolutely.
I don't mind starting, leaving Dominic and coming up here and, or living here and going back home or all the different changes in my life and stuff. It doesn't trouble me one bit, and even when people disappoint me, when they don't even realize how much they disappoint me, they don't even know how much of a favor they're doing me.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't even look at a disappointment as a disappointment anymore. I look at it as next.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you know what, though, we learn from all of our experiences, whether they're good or bad, and we just build on it. And I think once we're able to tell ourselves, like, you know what, this is a circumstance that I had no control over. This is what happened. It was a bad experience. That empowers me to move on to the next. And I think we should all learn from our mistakes and all learn from our positive or negative experiences. And that should fuel our next move, So yeah, certainly. And I see Lloyd on here. I was a teacher. Yeah. I did. I taught really amazing kids like Emo, Emily, from Paybush and yes, in Paybush. I was very young, 16, but I taught a lot of those kids in Penville also. And Paybush.
I feel so great hearing you, Mayma. You are an inspiration. So a lot of people showing their love.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Mayma, thanks for being here. Thanks for being my final show. I mean, it's always good to end with. I mean, not that all my guests have been great. I don't even want to my own horn, but all my guests are the shit.
Yeah.
But it's good to end on a real positive note. And
yes.
I'm so thankful to you for coming on. I remember we couldn't figure out a date for the interview. And we're going. How long ago did we book this? Like since August or something?
I know, it was crazy because I was doing all kind of stuff, and but I said I'm going to book the furthest out, and I think I'm really happy I did.
I'm happy that you did, and I recently connected with your brother, and I love connecting with family, with you guys, and I love connecting with you. And I always, whenever I speak to you, you and this one other person, whenever I speak to, it kind of gives me like an extra boost of energy to just go out there. Like today when we did the test and after we were done, I had to like rush off because I had to go take my son to dance. And walking to take him, because normally sometimes I drive drive him there. Sometimes I walk.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I walk. I'm walking and I'm replaying our conversation back in my head. And by the time I got back, I was like, shit, I have an idea.
See? It's good.
And I was like, okay. Yeah.
It was all worth it. Yeah, see? And we thought it was just small talk. No, but it's good. And anytime you need to reach out, anytime you need some type of boost, please just text me, email, call, or anytime if you want to come hang out in California, come see Silicon Valley and experience it. Yeah. Really, it's nice. It's actually cold. People think it's warm in California, but it's actually very cold here.
Really?
Yeah. It's right now about 50 degrees.
Go please.
So you might not.
Yeah, break out on my mind. As you go to 50 degrees.
But sometimes it's getting really hot. I mean, in the summer, it gets
like a turtleneck. Yeah, break. Give me a break. I can't even feel my boots out there. You're going to tell me about you.
But it's still there's still a lot to do. People still find a way to bike and hike in that cold weather. Let me tell you. Yeah, it's nice.
Somebody else is saying, "Raise the Empress is saying proud of you."
Oh, sure. Thanks.
The Empress Augustine is saying proud of you. Mayma, it's been a pleasure.
Cousin, of course.
Thanks, guys. Every single one of you who locked into the show, I'm so appreciative of you. Thank you for entrusting me every single week with your data, your internet, your Wi-Fi. You've taken your time out of your busy schedules to actually listen to me talk shite. Listen to me spread love. Listen to me inspire others. Listen to me with guests, phenomenal guests. People who are achieving, people who want to want more out of life, people who want to give back. Thank you very much, guys, for tuning in every single week. Or every time I've been on. It was very difficult deciding on what to do with Cacoa Tea this season, because coming out of my very first season and then getting into my school vibe, I was like, gosh, so old, and then start back. And something said to me, you know what, you could do it every 2 weeks, man. It comes natural. You can figure it out. It really is not much work.
Yes.
Like, to tell the truth, the most work is actually sitting there for the hour or the hour and a half. That is the most work because I'm away from my kids, and
totally understand.
To help me, with them and stuff. So that is the most work out of the entire.
No, I totally understand.
Right, and guys have constantly come on, and you've shared the videos. You've gone back and listened. There was an issue with the iTunes part.
Yeah.
So send me a message on Instagram, and she's like, "Girl, like, I'm trying to listen to you on iTunes, and I'm not getting through. What's going on? I need to call Apple."
Yes, that's good. You got to get people to subscribe to your channel.
I've been asking. Dominicans are the hardest. Asking them to share a damn freaking.
Because you need those listens.
Up a block.
You need those listens so you can start making money on your podcast. Like, tell them to.
That all they have to do is hit subscribe to help out her sister.
Absolutely.
That's all you got to do. Just hit subscribe when you listen.
Yeah. They can also
on Facebook.
They can also listen on Castbox,
as well.
Yes, and they can subscribe.
Like, just do the thing and help out a sister.
Absolutely.
All they have to do is hit the little button.
Magwesa.
How many of them on the time that they hit share? I can count on one hand probably how many of them that hit share. It seems like it's so much of a hard thing. All they have to do is hit share or hit subscribe or like or they'll go on Cardi B page and they love like how much times, but they
well, you know what, Jael? It's okay. Your turn will come. Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm grateful to them for just coming on and looking and viewing, checking out the show, sharing it properly, or talking to somebody. As long as somebody mentions it, I'm okay with that.
That's good. And I think you're building a reputation. I think next year you're going to have a really good season.
Thank you very much, Mayma. I'm looking forward to it. I haven't started planning. I'm going to take the next 6 weeks to plan the next season.
Absolutely. You should have Carlton on.
Maybe, well, yeah, like we'll see, we'll talk. Yes. I've been working a lot, like speaking to my professor a lot, about stuff that I want to do, and the professors at Rice, and I swear they really believe in their students, eh? I know you love your Carleton University, but I'm telling you, the professors at Rice, and they really are.
Yes.
I have a professor called Kevin who's just like, he wants you to be the best.
Yes, that's good.
And like, I remember him marking one of my papers and stuff, and emailing me while he was marking.
Oh, wow. Were you in trouble?
He's like, "What is this?" And he put he was what is this?
Oh my God.
Like, what does this mean? Right? And he puts on top of stuff like, "Are you talking gibberish?" Like, joke.
I mean, how do you respond to that?
I absolutely love it.
That's
right?
good.
I absolutely love it. I love when people give me advice and
Feedback.
good advice, constructive.
Absolutely.
I can appreciate that. Bring it on if it's constructive. If you want to talk in my head, if you're not doing anything that can improve it, what I'm doing, if you can't do better than what I'm doing or tell me something better, shut your mouth. I don't want to hear. You understand?
You're a pretty authentic person, so it's like what you see is what you get. So I think, if your teacher knows you, then he knows this is the way to get you to, to listen.
He keeps it 100. With his students and stuff, and I feel like I feel like at the beginning of my semester, I was like, boy, did I really want to do this?
Yeah.
But towards the end, I was like, oh my God, I did it! And I felt so excited about it, about my grades and everything. I was like, okay.
And Ryerson is a very, very good school for journalism.
Yes.
So you're in the right space.
Top.
Yes, it's one of the top in Canada. So I think you chose well, and I see success on the horizon for you. I certainly see you, doing your thing, slaying.
Hey, I was born to slay.
Absolutely, and you do it well. So just continue being you. I mean, I'm just so thrilled to know you. Such a breath of fresh air, and so inspiring.
Thank you, guys. And thanks, guys. Thank you. All the fans, I cannot do this.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Yeah. Thanks to my family and friends.
Yes. Your family's unfortunately don't joke. All of them on the time. I hope all of them okay.
Oh, Maureen said she'll be listening, so that's good. I mean, she'll be listening to your show. She'll subscribe.
Thank you very much. Thanks, guys. Guys, until next year. Don't forget, tomorrow I'm gonna be on with the promotions happening in Dominica for the Christmas season. So we're gonna be doing some promos and possibly some giveaways. So stay tuned for that tomorrow. I'll only be on for like half the time, less than half the time. So I'm encouraging you guys to tune in. And thanks, guys.
Take care.
Thank you very much, guys. Until next time. Bye-bye. Take care, Mayma.
Take care. Bye.